Okay. AI and the future. So, here it is. First of all, excuse my slow and stuttery English. That's not my native language. But, and I'm driving. But, yesterday, it finally came to me. I've been thinking about the whole AI revolution since ChatGPT 3 came out, and the prospects of AI and how it will reform like the world and our society. So how on the big scale, what will actually happen? AI is going to replace a lot of jobs. I would say if you are using the computer 100% of your job time, you will 100% lose your job. If you are using like a hammer or a nail and use your the computer to order stuff like 5% of the time, you will have 95% of your job left and let AI do the rest of the 5% of the job. That's basically how I see the future of labor economics. So I don't know exactly the number, but there is a lot of we have gone from the Industrial Revolution, relying on machines and going finer tuned machines, to now computers just sitting behind a desk ordering stuff. I don't know, putting up sheets and forms and just managing numbers for the best part of 30 years since internet and computing. And it's been the tech bubble, the tech revolution. Now the paradigm shifts. So, this already happens. AI is taking over because it's more efficient and more you don't a workplace or a job doesn't need to pay a human wages, sick leave or sick pay, or all the expenses for having humans as labor. They will just have AI that will manage all the data-driven queries, jobs. That will mean that a big part of just white collar work will set people, real human beings with stable jobs, they thought, will just be jobless within 10 to 20 years. This reformation will happen gradually. Let's just pull out on the highway. So there will be, hopefully not as severe as the last time, but now 100 years later, a new depression. The 2020 depression, 2030 depression maybe. But maybe we can manage this depression better than we did the last one. because we now have AI to help us. So people will be out of jobs, they will be out of pay, they don't get a salary, so they can't afford to pay for a home to live in, or pay for food, or pay for commodities like electricity and water, heating it. These are basic needs. These are basic human rights to survive in our society. So, here in Sweden, we have a lot of rental apartments. And what will happen is that all the people will lose their job, will lose their pay, will lose their financial capacity to pay for their rental apartment, will lose their rental apartment. But no one else is going to move into the rental apartment. So the landlords or the holder of the estates will lose the house. Like the house will just stand empty. Here comes my solution for this problem. It is that the state, the government, the parliament or whatever kind of regime you have in your country will go in and take over or buy out these rental apartment complexes, these houses, and give them out on loan for free. So if you don't have a job because of AI, and you need somewhere to live, AI will help the government manage so these before rental apartments now become free, just basic human rights survival shelters. Electricity, water, and shelter. That's my prediction for the upcoming future. How we will manage. I don't think I can see any other solution to how this could be done. How we could survive. So now, the next thing, the last thing you need is you need food, you need shelter and warmth and water. But you also need food. Yes. In that sense, that can too be automized by AI. That we have huge government-run farms producing base food like grain and proteins, nuts, seeds, eggs. Have that shipped, stored, processed, like in cooked. So the grain becomes wheat flour, that becomes pasta, that becomes then cooked as foods that will be rationed out free to these people who are living in now total chaos. No, but they're just homelessness, but not homeless. They are living in free rental, free loan apartments with electricity, with water, and with base food, for survival shelters. These are, as I see it, human rights. I would say this lies closer to, and sorry for bringing up this word, I know many of you don't like this word, but these are values that connect more to the socialistic way of thinking. Sure. Because, why do I think that's important to note? Because in a capitalistic way of thinking, the monetary system will not have in its best interest to help these people, because people are not worth what they were before, since AI is now taking over, and robots. So as humans become worthless, yeah, the economic system will have no incentive of trying to help them. And herein lies why the socialistic view of human rights and equality and equity tends to do better at these times, in my opinion. Hopefully, in the future, we will have something more going to a similar way of life as the Venus Project. Jack Fresco and friends. His vision and the Venus Project's vision of the future of a resource-based economy where like everything is free, energy is free, and food is free, and so on. All right. So, but for those who have work and who gets income and who has the possibility to earn money and want to strive for like making something for themselves, yes, I do think that it's possible to still live in this, to have a split world, like two parts of that you could live either in this free loan apartment with human rights, sustained living, or you could work and say that you are working as a carpenter. You are building houses for other people who also then get paid for their labor, and they pay you with money, so you then can go to the hardware store and buy materials for your house. So you own a house, but that house is not going to be free. That house will need attention and will need work. So you need to work to get money so you could work on your house, because it's too expensive to rent in another carpenter to work on your house. So you need to work, and you need to get money, and then you need to work, as the system is today. So if you want to own your own, you have to work for it. But if you just want to, like for elderly and maybe for kinder families, it might be more sustainable just to live in these simple free loan apartments with basic needs. And maybe you could work part-time, have like jobs for 1 or 2 days a week. So you just get some income to pay for some luxury to go out and pay some cook or someone make a more exquisite meal. Yeah. But basically, we will have computers and robots making the large part of all the necessities. Cars, logistics, we will still have cars, and of course probably will be something more sustainable than fossil fuels, and we'll go over to more electric or some type of other machine, maybe water engines or fusion, who knows. But these cars will be, indeed, it's the same with apartments. They will be loan cars, and they will also be self-driving, of course. So you just walk out on the street and go into a car and say, I want to go to the beach. And it drives you to the beach, and it stays there. And then someone else comes and say, I want to go home. And now the car drives you home and stays there. And then and you can call up on a car, of course, and say, I need to be picked up. I'm out here in the woods. And then the car comes and picks you up. Because energy is free. Because of solar panels and wind, wave power, and yeah. That robots and AI will be managing mostly on their own. And of course there will be some human labor required for repairs and stuff. But there won't be too few people to help out. There will be a lot of people who can help out because they're just free to do mostly what they want with life. Be free. Be just, yeah, free to do whatever they want. Take care of each other first and foremost, to tend to social things, health, mental health. Now, finally, we have the time to talk to each other. That's my prospects of the future. Of the future. So take care out there. Have a wonderful day. And let's see you in the future together.